President of the meeting, Sri John K. Paul, Sri Ashok Rao, Chairman, TiE Global, Dr. Bernard R. Harris, Sri P.H. Kurian, Dr. M. Srinath Shastri, Sri A.V. George, Sri S.R. Nair, distinguished delegates and friends. I am happy to be here amongst all of you who have come from various parts of the world to participate in TiEcon 2013, a gathering of some of the most influential change agents on this planet. Entrepreneurs are change agents in the society. They generate knowledge, employment, and wealth in the society. On behalf of the people of Kerala, I extend my warm welcome to all of you. There is so much in common between politicians and startup entrepreneurs. We are leaders, storytellers, and work with passion in our respective areas. We burn our midnight oil to run the nation, while startups burn midnight oil to run their companies. Today, being amongst all of you, I want to share 4 stories and lessons from my life and also share my excitement in the entrepreneurial surge that is sweeping Kerala. The first story is about having passion in life. When I was young and a student entering into politics, there was a burning desire to be a change agent in the society. It is like the fire in the belly of an entrepreneur which keeps one going to challenge the status quo. Even today, it is that fire in my belly that keeps me going with the same enthusiasm and vigor when I first stood for elections. The success of any entrepreneur is also the same fire in the belly, which is otherwise known as passion. How passion for whatever you are doing, and then you will succeed in life. The second story is about making mistakes. When I entered the political arena, I was young and in college. The real world learning was at its maximum, and I made a lot of mistakes as we were doing many things for the first time. It is okay to make mistakes. Luckily, there was no internet or social media then to amplify any mistake to out of size proportions, and this gave us ample opportunities to learn from the mistakes and not to repeat the same mistakes again. Make all your mistakes early in life and learn from them when you are young. When you get older, mistakes become costly, and it's true for a life both in business as well as politics. My third story is about fear of failure. The most successful politicians are the ones who conquer the fear of failure. We politicians are not afraid of failure. We never had anyone quit a political career because we lost an election. Instead, we always came back and fight to win again. I encourage the young startups never to be afraid of failure. You only fail when you give up. So never give up. The fourth story is about personal integrity and self-belief in truth. We believe in a world where there are revolutions happening everywhere, from Egypt to Turkey to Brazil. Here at home, too, there was a stage managed revolution, and these are testing times in our lives. I drew energy for inner strength and courage from the people who believed in me. Personal integrity and the self-belief in truth are key values for any entrepreneur. Always be honest and truthful to yourself, and that alone will give you the courage and conviction to stand fearless and conquer any adversity in life, whether in politics or in business. I hope that these lessons, which I learned from my life's experiences, are always useful to you in your journey as an entrepreneur. I am eager to share my excitement that for the first time in the history of our state, we are becoming truly entrepreneurial at home. It is exciting to see the young technology startup trying hard to make a change in the world being based in Kerala. The youth of today are global citizens being born in a world with internet and smartphones. The government of Kerala is committed to our startups, the best policies, the best tools, and the best in class infrastructure. I believe that the technology, especially the internet, is a great equalizer in the society. If internet was given to all homes in the country, the only state where possibly everyone can use it is Kerala with its 100% literacy. With massively open online courses like Coursera, our students can now learn from the best of global universities like Stanford, Harvard, or MIT. We are working on how to integrate these online classrooms to the real world classrooms. And once we do that, our quality of education would take a giant leap to international standards. Every startup works on momentum, and I believe that Kerala has the highest momentum in the country in the product startup world. It was only in March 15th, 2012, that I announced in New Delhi that we are going to launch Startup Village, the first public-private partnership model incubator in the country, along with the Government of India, Technopark, and the private sector. That was a big catalyst to create a product startup ecosystem in our state, as many young students came forward to fulfill the dream of a Silicon Coast. Encouraged by the motivation of our youth, on September 12, 2012, at Emerging Kerala, the state announced the historic student entrepreneurship policy for the first time in the country, where young college students would be given 20% attendance and 4% grace marks for trying to create a startup. I am happy to let you know that since then, over 500 students have come forward to start technology startups, which again is the highest in India. Let me remind you that when Apple launched the App Store, it was again with around 500 apps. And today there are over 1 million apps in the Apple Store. The App Store changed the world, and believe that the youth of Kerala is on its way to change the world. Today, there are over 1,400 product startups in Startup Village alone, which is again the highest in the country for any incubator. The momentum is clearly shifting to Kerala to be the startup capital of the country. Change is the only constant in business today. The world around me, since I was a young college student who dreamed to make a positive change in the society, I am seeing my roles transform from that young college change agent to empowering other change agents who are now ready to challenge the status quo in the world. I am inclined to believe that the same change that is happening to me would be happening in your lives as well, whereas young entrepreneurs, you were setting out to change the world. And now, as we get older, we have to change our roles in mentoring some of the most brilliant young startups out there. We cannot take our wealth or knowledge to the grave. And I hope all of you have come with an attitude to open your checkbooks and invest in the young startups around you. I encourage you to be angel investors to startups who are unheard but fearless. They need your support now more than ever before. Global companies like Google, Facebook, or Twitter were founded by young startups that had the first checks from angel investors. I want to promise you that the government of Kerala would be the largest angel investor in the country to our young startups and would back them. That would back them like any investor to the fullest extent possible to create disruptive global startups from our homeland. We have had successful entrepreneurs in the past. To name a few, Western India, Sri Khadar Kuti, Sindh, Sri C.V. Jacob, Eastern, Sri Miran, Sri Leena Krishnan Nair, Sri M.K.K. Nair, Sri K.P.P. Nambiar, Sri K.P. Hormes, Sri V. Kurian, Sri M.S. Aminathan, and about a decade ago, several IT entrepreneurs. We are happy to inform the audience that for the first time in India, the government of Kerala has earmarked 1% of the state budget for young entrepreneurs. This amount comes to over 500 crore annually and will be invested to provide a world-class ecosystem for our startups at home, including angel funding. Disruptive startups are changing the way the world works, and sometimes I wonder why these startups are mostly born in Silicon Valley. People who have visited the valley tell me that it is about the startup culture in Silicon Valley. We want to learn more about this culture. As I speak here today, 5 of Kerala's most talented youngsters are currently visiting Silicon Valley and meeting some of the brightest minds out there and learning about this culture. TiE is a global organization, and with its strong roots in Silicon Valley, I would like to extend the support of the state government to build a bridge between Cochin and California. We want to benchmark ourselves with the best in the technology world and join hands with all of you to cement this global partnership to learn about the startup culture on angel investing and help in setting up a landing pad for our startups in Silicon Valley. When you leave after TiEcon 2013, I want you to carry an image of Kerala as a lean startup which is trying hard and experimenting to kickstart an entrepreneurial culture. We are happy to pivot continuously till we find the right winning strategy. I am convinced that the stage is set for a global startup revolution from Kerala, and I am happy to welcome all of you to be part of this revolution. Thank you very much.